What's up, you guys? It's your girl Poppy Don, and I'm back with the interview. First interview of 2021. I'm excited to talk to this artist that is crazy. Found someone on Explore page. Love the bars. Decided to follow him, and here we are doing our first interview. So I'm super excited. His name is Mark. I call him the People's Choice because I feel like he has a great personality. But before we get started into this interview, I would love to hear where we can find your music, where we can find you at. Go ahead and let people know where they can follow you.
Yeah, man. I go by the name of Mark, an artist out of New Jersey. Everyone can follow me on all social medias at _Mark_. And my music is everywhere. SoundCloud to YouTube to, the major platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal. So everywhere, just Mark.
Perfect. So before we go, we're going to actually add that in at the end as well so everybody can know. By the time we end this interview, they're going to know who Mark is. So before we get started into the really, really deep questions, I want to start, if you guys hear the music in the background, that is his music. Like he said, you can find it on SoundCloud. But I really want to start with a couple of questions. We're going to make it easy for you, and then we're going to get into the hard stuff. So I actually want to know a little bit more, and I'm pretty sure the people want to know why Mark. Where did that come from? How was that constructed?
All right, so Mark came about because Tribe is actually like my team, but it's something that I think everyone is part of. It started with it's three of us, me and two of my closest friends. We just held each other accountable and kind of made a pact to just always push each other and be successful and do the right things. And we expanded it to, more of our friends. So I have Tribe. So Tribe is basically family, friends, just loved ones. You know what I mean? I know you hear that saying, "It takes a village." So you could think some to that, right? So it's Tribe Mark. Mark is my actual name. It's Tribe Mark and not Mark Tribe because I feel like I put the tribe before me. I put my team, my family before me, so it's Tribe Mark.
And that's why you're the People's Choice, for real. That's why you're the People's Choice. Okay, so now that we kind of know a little bit about Tribe Mark, I personally talked to you a little bit, and I kind of asked you a little bit about your background. You told me that you had some Haitian in you. Does that have anything to do with how you came with Tribe, or was it just kind of family team, and that's what collectively gave that name?
Of course, your upbringing is everything. So I don't know if you know too many Haitian family households. They're very close. They're down to even cooking. If someone cooked, they cooking for the whole house. Even the neighbors. So it's always that togetherness and sense of belonging. So teamwork and things like that. So it definitely have something to do with it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I definitely feel like once you get your fan base up, they're going to be calling themselves a part of the tribe.
Of course.
I'm sure you're going to be incorporating them and, having them play around with that as well. So I think that's really unique. Pretty dope. So I kind of just want to jump right into the meat of it. Now, before I start talking about your music, I was listening to a song of yours on SoundCloud. I do apologize. Can't think of the name right now. But one of the lines that you said was that if you were to sell your masters, you'd be selling your organs. And I find that very unique. I don't know if you know right now, a lot of celebrities like Lil Wayne, a lot of artists actually are selling their masters. And I just kind of want to know I understand, but I kind of want a little bit more in depth of your reason for why you compared your masters to organs. What gave you that to say that? Was it what's going on right now? You seeing artists sell their masters, or was it because of the Kanye rant this summer about getting your masters? What made you put that together?
All right, so at that time, because that I had took a meeting with a label, so and that's one of the things that they wanted, and they were offering not much for it, but I understand the opportunity and things. I wouldn't say closed-minded, but I was somewhat naive to what's really going on. There's a lot of artists that's how they enter the game. So I was a little bit closed-minded as far as negotiating, and so after that situation happened, that whole little piece was basically that, So when I said I feel like I'm giving a piece of my organs, or I'm an organ donor was the words, I feel like I'm giving you a piece of me for real. you know.
Yeah.
So when I give you my masters, you know what I mean. So that's where it came from.
And I'm glad you brought that up, like mentioning how artists, when they come into the game, that's one of the things that they do is like sell their masters. How important to you is it as a new artist or someone coming into the game? How important is it to you to hold on to that? Like, I obviously like an organ, but like what gave you that knowledge? Like, what made you realize, like, no, this is something important? And how do you not necessarily feel, but what do you think about the artists that we kind of grew up listening to, selling their masters at this time? Like, how do you feel about it? Do you feel away, or do you feel like, okay, that makes it, it means more, that it's more important or imperative that you need to hold on to your own?
All right. So first, how I got that to that understanding and to that belief is that I actually brought someone that I respect, like a mentor in the music game, with me just to meet the guy. So and that's why in that piece I said, told me you got me. I told him show me. Gave me a contract. I gave it back and told him no, please. Kindly declined him and told him proceed. Some. I got my game from all the OGs. So I actually brought someone who I consider OG to me, and he put me on game to like, yo, you know what it means, you know, because the music business, like, the fans won't understand, and there's some part of it that I don't understand because I'm not really in the industry. So that's why I got it. But how I feel,
Yeah, you're not in the industry
yeah, I'm
yet,
not in the
but
industry yet.
you're coming into it. But
I'm
yeah,
trying. I'm trying. So as far as the artists, I feel like everyone has their reasoning, you know. So I want some artists for sure do it for whatever fame or whatever the case may be. But if some people be in messed up situations and they like, yo, I got to do whatever it takes to get to where I'm going, and I respect it. You know what I mean? So that's how
no,
I
for
feel.
sure. Most people don't know this, but your masters are everything.
Yeah, of course.
Your masters control, you know, where your product is being played and how much money is being,
Yeah.
you know, made back to you. So selling your masters can be a big deal because if you sell them, you're giving away, like you said, a piece of you, and that's money and revenue that you won't be able to get back. Once they're sold, they're sold. So I think that's kind of important. I just, when I heard that lyric, I was like, I got to incorporate that in today's interview because it's different.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of young rappers talking about like women,
Yeah.
you know, cars,
Yeah.
money. But what you don't hear is like, I'm not selling my masters. That I thought that was so like dope. I thought that was really unique.
Thank
so
you.
We're just gonna go ahead and segue into your music.
Let's do it.
A great music, by the way.
Thank you.
Crazy energy. Love the vibes. One of the songs that I wanted to talk about was Locked In.
Okay.
And that was like, it sounds like, you know, a lot of people can relate to that. And I feel like it was one of those songs that kind of reminded me of like a Drake song. Like, it gave me Drake, very much Drake vibes, specifically the song Doing Me Wrong. Because some of the lyrics was like, you know, don't tell me you love me, it only fucks with me. And I was like, okay, this is personal. So I was just like, okay, there. And then, you know, I love the line where you said that, you know, if I make you my baby, I need full custody. I was like, Jesus, slow down with the bars. Like, you're giving it all to us every single time. But the line that really stuck out with me, and I feel like in today's society when it comes to relationships and being with people, is that, you know, don't say it ain't cheating just because we're not official. Because I feel like a lot of times we have these entanglements or these situationships. And so I want to know, like, what was that song inspired by? Was it a situationship for yourself? Or was it an entanglement? Or, like, was it just previous or past experience that you experienced and you just wanted to kind of, like, play that out of your music? And how do relationships affect your music as well?
Definitely, like, situations past situations I've been in. Like when I say, don't tell me you love me and only fucks with me, everyone could relate to that because someone could do something crazy to you and be like, yo, I love you. It's like fucking with me. Like, don't say you love me. Like, show me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if I make you my baby, I need full custody. It's like, if you my baby, you can't be everybody else's baby. You feel me? Like,
I'm not going to lie. It took me out when I heard it because I never heard nobody say that like that. I was like, okay, I get you. This is real. Like, I was like, I understood it. So yeah, I felt that was relatable. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's good. And then the line. What's the line you said that is you know, Oh
Like
yeah,
you
oh yeah.
said
Okay.
exactly, you said, but don't say it ain't cheating because we're not official.
Yeah,
Don't like because we ain't official or something
or
like that.
you could get in a situation where it seems very much official. So
Okay.
it's a so
Okay.
you could get caught up when you think it's very much official, even though it's not in black and white. It wasn't said, and then they doing their thing
Right.
on the side. You're gonna feel away. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
that's
And
what
I feel
that's
like that is relatable for sure. Like
of course.
I have had that happen to me myself. I thought I was in a full blown relationship. I was single.
Yeah.
I was single and I didn't know it. So I definitely feel like that is very relatable. Do you feel like relationships in general have affected a lot of your music? I do hear you talk about women a lot in your music, and for the most part, I feel like it's in a positive way. I do feel like although I don't feel like it's negative. I feel like some people may take it negative. I do feel like you kind of ego check women a little bit sometimes. That's not a problem to me. I feel like we need that to be reminded because I feel like with the City Girls and the Megan Thee Stallions and the Cardi B's, we're looking for a Birkin bag, okay?
Yeah.
But I feel like some of the stuff he says is kind of like like bring it down a little bit, and then you have stuff like this. It's like, but you're not going nowhere.
Yeah,
so how do you feel like relationships have impacted your music?
I would say a lot. You feel me? Um, I definitely want to speak not only from my point of view, but also whether it's male or female. I feel like we go through the same things, just from different side of it. So that's why a song like Locked In, a lot of females, can relate because they're more in tune with their emotions. But a lot of guys can relate too because they go through it, they just don't say it. You know what I mean? So I feel like my past
Right.
relationships speaks for both sides.
Do you feel like, and this is kind of, on the personal side, but do you feel like as a man that you have always been more communicative in your relationship and that's why it's easier for you to kind of translate that into your music? Or do you feel like you had to learn and then that's why you were able to put it in your music?
Yeah, I would say I felt like I had to learn somewhat. You know what I mean? And I'm more expressive in my music, so it'll come out more in my music than it would in like a conversation. So
Okay. So what's your mindset going in the studio? Like, tell me what is a typical moment going into the studio, what that looks like for you. Give us kind of like a breakdown of like, where's your headspace? What are you listening to? What gets you hyped?
I literally could draw inspiration from like anything. So sometimes it's just different, but as far as the recording process, when I put on a beat, I like to start rapping immediately and just give my natural reaction to the beat. Like different, so I might record. I put on the beat and I'll start. I can almost feel. I think that's pretty much any artist. I can almost feel where the drops is coming in and things like that. So I'll just start rapping and mumbling and coming up with melodies and flows for the whole track. So if it's 3 minutes, I'll record 3 minutes, and I know which ones I like, and then I'll start breaking it down. Or it could be like that situation with the label. I went through some, so I already knew like what I want to speak about. So I already know I'm just putting in the words. You know what I mean? And same with party songs, you kind of know like, all right, I'm about to go for a party vibe. I might have a couple of the guys or whatever. You know what I mean? For the most part, I record by myself.
Okay. So I want to kind of segue into some of your Haitian background. We spoke on that earlier, and I want to know how your Haitian background has really influenced your music. And do you feel like, it's important? I mean, I understand it's important, but like, sometimes society makes you feel like not comfortable expressing other cultures or being comfortable, in the presence of other people with your culture out there. Do you feel like you're going to be able to kind of break those barriers and be able to come out like, or I don't want to say would you come out as a Haitian artist, but do you feel like you're going to be able to incorporate more of your Haitian side, and what will we get to see when it comes to that as well?
Okay. Do I feel like the Haitian background influenced the music? Of course, because me, I'm big on instruments. So it's just like I would say Haitian music compa, or it's kind of like as far as instrument driven, like like Caribbean music, Afro beats or whatever. So I feel instruments. So I feel like that's why, because I kind of was brought up hearing that. Even though you're not paying attention to it when your parents is playing it, you
You
start to
know it.
realize later, like, oh, hold on,
Right.
I could feel this. Like, there's a reason. So as
Right.
far as like do I feel like it's going to be hard to incorporate that? No, I don't think so. Because now everyone is being praised for being unique. So if you're able to bring
That
something,
is true.
if you're able to, that's why we have artists of some artists that are less skilled than others, just for whatever. Some artists are here, and it's not even because of their music. So I don't think it would be a problem. Um,
Okay.
I don't know what it'll sound like because I'm not like I'm not a Haitian artist per se. As far as like I can't make a full
Right.
song speaking Creole. It's hard. Like my family would say like, yo, my Creole is not that good, but they
Right.
understand me. But I could incorporate it, like try to swag it out a little bit to make it digestible for different crowds.
And do you feel that's important as someone with that kind of background to kind of have that in your music?
Definitely. I don't want to say like super important, but
Right.
I want to do it because that's not I didn't come in the, making music like the artists that influenced me. I don't listen to like Haitian artists, so I won't front be like,
Right.
oh yeah, yo, this hate. But of course, like Wyclef, he's a legend. So people like that, but he's speaking English. So, but I definitely
Right.
want to incorporate it in my own way. You feel me? In a way that I think is dope.
Okay. So I just want to kind of segue in a little bit of your childhood and kind of talk about, what it was like growing up and what was that moment that you knew you wanted to do music? Like, what was that defining moment for you?
Um. All right. So I always could rap. Like always could rap. But I never took it serious. I was more of a basketball player. Like I remember having like a book of lyrics, and my mom found it, but it was like curses, and I was because I'm from Newark. If you know anything about Newark, like it's the inner city, it's type violent, so you gonna rap about those kind of stuff.
So you lived in Newark, New Jersey?
Yeah,
I stayed in Staten Island. I was not that far from Newark,
yeah,
New
yeah. You're
Jersey.
not that far. Yeah. So like I always could rap, and I was always influenced by the inner city things that happen in the inner city. But I would say I started taking it serious like 3.5 years ago. Like I'm like, you know what? I want to try it for real. Like let me try this. And I started like putting out little freestyles, and
Okay.
the response was good. I always knew I could do it, but I had to find myself as an artist. Before I was just rapping. Being an artist and rapping is two different things. So.
Agreed. Can you break it down for the people? What's the difference? Like, what's the difference between being an artist and someone who just raps?
All right, you could be a rapper, and like you could rap. You have that skill set. You could rap. But an artist is like someone who's able to use their talent and also sell it. Not necessarily physically, but well, you could say physically, being able to sell your music, making it believable, and
Okay.
getting people to putting a song together, staying on topic. It's so much that goes into it. You have to be marketable, all that other stuff. So it's just a little different. You got to be really in tune, because I don't know, like most songs are like I want to say like it's kind of gimmicky. You know what I mean? But
You
those
feel?
are
Oh wait, when you're saying gimmicky, you feel like your music is
no,
kind
no,
of gimmicky?
no, not mine.
Okay, we're talking.
But
I was
but
like,
just most like let's just say like I don't want to name songs and name artists, but
got
some
you. Okay.
songs will come out with a dance, they'll come out with
Mm,
whatever, and then it's someone who's like back home in the street, he could rap, but he can't really put a song together. So he's not really an
got you.
artist, but he's a rapper. You know what I mean? So things like that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. You do have a lot of artists, unfortunately, but I feel like that being gimmicky is kind of like the thing now, and I feel like that's what makes it. That's what makes the ability to be, I guess, as an artist, like a little bit easier these days,
Yeah,
because I feel like if you have like a little hook, you can put a little verse together. You got you a little beat, and it's a little bit easier to sell. But like you said, when there's people back home who are actually like, going through things, and like you said, they might. I feel like when you say that, you're talking about people who go to like freestyle battles and stuff like that, who can kind of do it right then and there, but maybe in a studio session wouldn't be able to kind of give that same energy like someone who is an artist, right?
Yeah, or like let's just say, because I feel like battle rappers are like I have the utmost respect for them. Like they're super talented, they wordplay and everything. But like, let's just say like,
but I also haven't seen a lot of battle rappers become mainstream artists.
Because it's a whole different approach when it comes to battling and making a song. Making a song, you for one, you have to have a concept in mind, which I think they could come up with a concept. But two is the delivery of it. It has to be, like pleasing sonically to the ear,
Right. So that's, I think, what would be a good example of as a rapper and then an artist. Because they can kill it. Like you said, metaphors are crazy. They can rap, but I haven't seen any of them put music together.
Yeah.
At all. I mean, unless you know some.
I mean, I know an artist out of Jersey, Sue Surf. He's dope. He put nice songs together. Arsenal as well. But it's very like very few. It's very few. It's very and it's.
But they can rap their ass off.
They can rap crazy. They can rap like. It don't
like
make no sense. Yeah.
No, I know. I've seen a lot. My favorite battle rap was Queens of the Ring. I think it was based in Brooklyn, New York. Those girls were crazy.
Yeah, they get crazy.
The bars are crazy. Yeah. So I feel like I definitely have a respect for them. There's an artist. I think she came out of Baltimore, and she her name is Keys. She freestyled and did a diss track to Nicki Minaj back in the day, and she had bars. So I thought she was cool, but she never became mainstream though. So I thought that was kind of sad. I was hoping to see something from her. But anyways, I want to kind of dive into some more projects and maybe some potential things that you have coming up, and then like also just talk about being an artist. And I know as an artist myself, a lot of times when we describe our artistry, we say that the art chose us, we didn't choose the art. And I feel like this same thing is very much said for you, because I feel like hearing your music, it's definitely not something that I feel like you're so different. Like I feel like, and I don't really say this because it's not real. A lot of people, especially upcoming artists, that really like catch me. Like you catch me like Jordan Lucas Carter. Like Jordan Lucas is a dope artist. Wordplay is crazy. So that's when I saw your raps and when I hear your music, that's you give me something that's like so different, especially in this time. So I just kind of want to know, like, how do you feel? Like, I know it's cliche to say, I know we all have heard it, but do you feel like it's true? Like the art really chose you?
Yeah. To be honest, I feel like I was born to be an artist. For me, I didn't always feel like that, but I feel like there's certain things that I do I could give to the game that's not there. You feel me? And I can inspire people in different ways. So I definitely feel like the art chose me.
No, I feel like the art chose you too. You have something, and I think it's so dope to kind of see a young black man, and not just talk about the typical things. Like I think it's really cool to kind of see that, because I feel like it's so easy to talk about breasts and ass and cars and money. That's really easy, but I think to give people something different, and like the master thing, that's not something that young people talk about.
Yeah.
You have a lot of artists all the time who sign contracts, who sign stuff, and they don't even think about what they're giving away. So I thought that was just so unique and just different.
To their defense, like some artists really don't have much. You feel me? So it's like,
right.
And I much rather them do that than stay home and do what they got to do that way. So I understand it. So I don't know. It's like it's whatever. It's your choice. You know what I mean? So, but now,
okay. I mean, I'm on the fence on that. I'm on the fence on it, but I think you have a point. So I'm not there. I'm not there with you, but I do feel like it is imperative, because we've seen it so many times with TLC and other artists, like what contracts and the value just reading it. Nobody's saying don't sign a contract. Just make sure you know what you're giving up. So I feel like it's I get it.
Especially now. Back then I think it was different, but now it's like you don't need to do that now. You know what I mean?
No, you need, because I mean, you really can make it on your own.
You can,
to be honest, as independent artists.
Of course.
So I definitely feel that. I want to kind of talk about your up and coming projects. I know we talked about that. You said you had some new stuff coming. Before we get into that, I want to talk about how the pandemic has changed your views. I heard one of your songs, and you were talking about Black Lives Matters as well. How has 2020? I know we're in 2021, but how did 2020 impact your music, and how did the whole riots and everything that was going down last year affect you and your music as well?
Yeah, 2020 affected everyone. You know, as far as musically, I would say I had some things scheduled that didn't happen, like everyone else. You know, festivals, just different, moving around different places. You know what I mean? But it also gave you time to, you know, reflect and be thankful for certain things. So that's what, as far as musically, and but I forget the second part of the question. What was it?
Oh, I was saying, like, how did the Black Lives Matter as well? Because I did hear a song that you did. I thought it was pretty cool too, and you spoke on it. So I just wanted to see how that affected your music.
That, like, you know, like, that was sad, obviously, you know, and everyone was affected, regardless of color. I would hope, you know, if you, as a human, you would be affected by that, because that's something that's, you know, is unjust. So it was definitely important for me to just touch on that topic. So I was happy that I was able to use, you know, my art to touch on that.
No, I mean, I think it is important as an artist to be able to express that and use your platforms to talk about things like that, because people want to hear what you have to say, and people will follow you. And I'm pretty sure you have a mega fans out there already who are just like want to know. So, I mean, I think it's important to kind of use your influence to get that out. The next thing is, like, 2021's here.
Yep.
What can we expect? What are you giving us? Like, what are you doing 2021? Where are you going to be at? Where can we find you?
2021, I definitely want to put out, you know, multiple projects, a lot of visuals. Next month, I should be going to Africa. I had the pleasure of working with like the #1 artist in Uganda, Eddie Kenzo, and a couple songs that we did is on his project. So I'm gonna go out there, shoot some videos. I want to be at Afro Nation, like I was supposed to be last year. Just more collab, just more music, more content in general. I want to take it to the next level, you know, because a lot of times when we're rising and we're getting, you know, different opportunities, whether it's being record deals or whatever, we tend to think of ourselves as, you know, on the rise, which we will always be on the rise. Even you would never settle. Even Jay-Z's on the rise, and he's up there. You know what I mean? Even Drake's. So, yeah, but so we have to think of it like, not that we made it, but we have to be like, yo, we're somebody. So let's treat this as such. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to do. I want to take it to the next level this year.
I agree. And did you feel like everything that's happening this year for you, projects, do you feel like 2020 prepared you for any kind of obstacle that could happen in 2021?
Of course. You have to be ready for whatever. You know?
Whatever.
You don't know what could happen these days. You know what I mean? So, and it also taught me to, like, since you don't know what's gonna happen, take advantage of the moment. You know, don't hesitate. You know, just do what you have to do, because you never know. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. The reason why we here today is because I had a moment with you on an Instagram story, and I took advantage of that. So I definitely agree. Life is short. I'm excited to hear what you have going on in 2021. I personally can't wait. Yeah. Don't go to Africa and forget about us in America.
Nah,
you know, I don't want you to be out there falling in love and just and enjoying the energy so much that you forget about us. So definitely make sure you come back, give us those great vibes that you're coming back with. Is there any artist that you can name drop that's coming up on any of your new projects or anything like that? Is there any kind of juicy details that we can get?
Well, I gave one. Eddie Kenzo is like, he's a very big artist. He's the #1 artist in Uganda, so he's like, he's at least top 3 for sure in Uganda. So he's like the Drake, Meek, J. Cole of where he's at. So I plan on trying to, lock in a couple of deals, So we'll see. I don't want to speak too soon and jinx it, but soon. We'll have a part
Right.
two. We'll have a part two.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I mean, again, oh my gosh, such a great personality. I love that you're so humble. I love that you know your idea and your ideologies of just family, even like in your name. You will never forget to be able to keep your friends family and just, your village around you because it's in your name. So I think that's really cool. You are the people's choice. I really feel like you're gonna be that one that everybody wants to see win because you really are a different type of person. So I'm excited to see what you got going on for 2021. Again, try Mark in the building.
Yeah.
I feel like we know who you are. I feel like
you.
we're a little bit more personal. We're a little bit more together. So I'm excited about that. Again, let the people know where they can find you, your music, all that, because they should know. They're not following right now.
Yeah.
They're not trying to really be a part of the tribe. So.
Yeah, word. Everyone, follow me on all social media at _TribeMark_. Music is everywhere, just as Tribe Mark. That's SoundCloud, YouTube, to Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, everywhere they stream music. I'll be there under Tribe Mark. Stay tuned
Yes,
for more.
sir. Yes, sir. Okay, guys, look. This is the first interview for me in 2021. I'm so excited that you're my first person. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to even just speak to you and even just taking my Instagram call. Crazy, but I'm excited to have Big here. I'm excited to have Big here. And all the music, if you guys love the music that you heard in the background, that was all him. Everything that you heard, it was just awesome music. And yeah. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for just being here and being a part of, what I'm doing and just allowing me to do this with you. I'm so excited. So thank you so much. And I'm Poppy Don. Find me on Instagram, PAPPIIDON. Peace.
Later.